We got 2 likes and 1 viewer. I wonder who that is. Okay, how y'all doing? It's about that time. How many minutes do I got? Simanya ndikonzeka. Ndiko bwomu, nze nawe. Me holler at the people on Facebook right about now. Ooh, child. Okay, we is live on Facebook too. And now let's talk to the TikTokers. Badia. Ha ha ha. Live center. Right. Which video? Okay. Nako Facebook kuliko muntu omo banange this life no balance. Welcome. How are you? TikTok is on too. But I think I'm going to take the TikTok off for a minute because I notice I'm giving you all these platforms and none of y'all is coming to my Instagram. Kagamba sibategera. No, not my Instagram, my YouTube. Hi, how y'all doing? Mulimutia. Oh, we got 18 people on. 26 on Facebook, 16 on YouTube. I see you. What's up, my TikTok people? You know what to do. You know how we start this. Anya ampulida, anya tampulida, anya tandaba, so that we can get it. Yeah. Mwetereze. Welcome. How are you? How you been? I missed all of y'all. To be honest, I did. I missed all of y'all for the past week. So, Mulimtia, who can't hear me? Is your voice, is the audio clear? Is the visual clear? We need to get that situated before we can get into anything, to be honest. Okay, right there. Hi, big shout out to everybody who is watching me from wherever you are. I see people watching me from Belgium. I see people, where are you watching from? Let us know where you're watching from. Julius Bambi, I'm sorry that I wasn't around last week, but I'm back. And of course, I have my activist starter pack with me. The big wig is back, ladies and gentlemen. The big hoop earrings are back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes! Where is everybody watching from? Let me know. Muliwa. Muliwa watufu. Mumbulire banayicha njagala mmanya watufu muliwa. Mulimuche Mazalandi. Big shout out to everyone who is watching from Achi Mazalandi. That became a stepmother to some of us. Yeah. Munich, I see you. Kololo, Qatar, UAE. London, big shout out to all of you. Kenya, big shout out to you, Faith. Oh, yeah, I see that, Julius. Thank you for the condolences. I wasn't around last weekend because I posted it on my socials and I told you I needed to go through grieving. I lost a close friend to me, and it did kind of show me a couple of things in life, and we take certain things for granted. You know, this was my friend for the longest of times. You know, we've been through it. Those who are close to me knew me and Tracy were like, you know, 2 diaps. That's how we were. And we had a small argument. You know how people have tiny, small arguments that they can literally get over with. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to dead the issue and just go silent for a minute, because I felt like it was time for us to first, you know, step away from each other and reevaluate. And, well, guess what? I didn't get a minute to even say, we good. You know, like next thing I got was a text telling me she's passed on, and it hit me real hard. And I don't like to pretend with my grieving process. You know, I see people grieve. We all grieve differently. I personally love to get it out of my system and just make peace with it. I do. So I needed to take a minute out and deal with the anger, the pain, it's all the 5 steps of grieving within, and then making peace with the fact that it is what it is. So I needed that time off, and I'm back. I'm good. It starts to feel different when you start to lose friends in your age gap. That's when it hits you like, damn, God damn, we old. We're getting old. You know, back in the day, you'd see your parents lose friends and you're like, what? Now we are in that age group where we've started losing friends, and well, it's a big wake-up call. But enough about that. For anybody who has lost somebody within this past time, I would like to send my condolences to you, and I hope you're getting through the grieving process the best way you know how to, and, you know, strength to you indeed. Anyway, that besides that, how have you been? Tell me all about it. Mwagenza mubizonto, twaganye Kenzo. Wait a minute. When was Kenzo's concert? Mzoke mumbulire. Concert ya Kenzo yali yaddi. I want to know. And why didn't you show up? He hyped it. When was the concert? Because I saw so many concerts happening back home this weekend. Nalabye international artists nze besimanyi. But nangenze ndoza andi fala. It's today. Okay. I don't keep abreast with what's happening in that part of the world, but I see so many artists being brought into the country, and then I see the names, I'm like, who are these people? Which songs did they sing? Am I too old? I don't know. So yes, Kenzo's concert is today. Anybody tell me about the turn-up? Of course, I believe he's wrecked the people in, right? What happened to Biniman? I heard Biniman was in the country. What happened? Did he wreck them in? Did you all go see the king of the dance hall? Does he still have that power? Muganye. Church baganyo gende wa Kenzo. Church baganyo gende wa Kenzo. Njagala bimanya. Biniman pulled the crowd. What about Kenzo? It's massive? Oh, well, that's good for him. Because from what I was seeing in, you know, the blogozi and all around, they were saying weird stuff because apparently his concert was backed up by General Pombe. So I don't know. I do not know. Na ye bwaba chukubye mukama mulungi na ye ba artists be babaletera bonna mu bamanyi nze kyenjagala omanya. Nze ndaba amanya ku Twitter ne ngamba, who is this artist? Where did they sing? And what song did they sing? And how many of us know them that they think they can come and feed up Lugogo? Kenzo Yalia. You all should have known Kenzo Yalia the moment he stood up on that fateful day and was like, government, where are you? I'll never forget that video. Y'all remember when Kenzo came out to tell us about his problems crying, government, where are you? I was like, this got to be the dumbest ish ever. But I thought I had seen dumb until this week when I saw Sean Penn give his Oscar to the president of of Ukraine. I'm like, Sean, how is your Oscar helping the war in Ukraine? Like, there's a whole lot of dumb stuff happening in the world. I can't lie. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world. A lot. But here we are to discuss it. So let me know what y'all want me to talk about. Very expensive. Why Biniman? Oh, I don't know. Let me know what you want us to delve into, because I think I missed a whole lot for the past 2 weeks. And I feel like so hit me up in the comment section. There's a lot happening politically. A lot. You know, after we sang Simsima, who's got the keys to my bima, that was it. For us as a people, he's a legend, but he is no Shaggy. Yeah, I think the only act in UG who comes all the time and fills up is Shaggy. Has Shaggy ever come and he doesn't, has he ever come and he doesn't pull a crowd? Oyo guy nanabane Uganda mbu bwe bangamba nange sibimanyi naye bwe bagamba, but Serwada chikulume chikulume mkwana chikulume panacho akasajja kumutima tula nako. I can see, oh yeah, omwana wa Grace Khan. I saw that. That was Hey, Mickey Wine abana bamusabudde. Oh, what did Mickey Wine say? And you see, there are certain people I don't even. Kati, when was the last time Mickey Wine made sense to anything? Okay, my bad. He has a following. He has a following. Clearly, that's not my target audience, and I won't understand it. So to very yeah, the UN ladies, I saw that. I'm going to talk about that too. That Chidiowa situation. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's actually start from there. I was watching the AG. And I'm like, Onogaya alimbira ddala bwati. He is the Attorney General, right? And he real sat up in that room with all them dignitaries and white folk. And he lied. He literally lied about the situation in Uganda. He lied about safe houses, torture, you name it. And all of us were sitting back like, ah. But did you expect any? What? I don't know why Ugandans, what did you expect? You expected your Attorney General to show up at the Geneva with all them white folks around who are supposed to fund the budget that you all can't afford and begin acknowledging that, yeah, we do pick people up in drones all the time. We torture them, beat them up. Yeah, we do it. You think he was going to do that? Do you even think Savo would allow him to do that, Pagai? You set yourself up for heartbreak. You always do. I believe as Ugandans, one thing we should talk about is to stop setting ourselves up for painful heartbreak. Like it always ends in tears for us whenever we have wishful thinking. Like, what did you expect? Honestly. I looked at this man sit up there and tell his lies, and I just got my cup. I'm like, ah, yeah, get up, mass. That's his job. His job is to defend all the stupidity. His job is to defend the government. His job is to be the Attorney General, not for you, the people, but for them. For them. So you expected him to come and say, yeah, we picked up Kakwenza and we beat him up. And very many others. There are actually photos too, in case you want to see. Yeah, we have, it was documented. You think he was going to do that? I saw Ugandans react on social media and I was like, kwegamba mubeeraawo ne mwagala okwerumya emitima. Mwerumya emitima. Which government entity do you know that has come out and acknowledged what has happened? Even when Kakwenza came out, you see, for me, the one I use is Kakwenza because for him, yavayo mulwatu, right? Yavayo mulwatu. Nabyogerako. We saw the photos. So I was sitting there when the Attorney General talked about it. I'm like, so what you're saying is this guy abducted himself. The thrashings and beatings on his body and the torture was self-inflicted. Him and the countless others. It was inflicted. It was self-inflicted. I was like, wow. Wow. Mukakane badia, mukakane. There is certain things that are not going to change. They're not going to change. They won't change. For as long as we have the same people in power, they're not going to change. Bambi Kalunji Peter atukunda muleke bambi. Bamusasudde. Bamusasudde musajja watu ayina okuyisaawo waadiye. Muleke. I told you people, when NRM bots come onto our platforms, do not be bothered by their opinions. This is an open space. We are allowed to feel how we feel about our governance. They are allowed and entitled to feel how they feel about their governance. It is really an open space. So whenever they come in the comment section, like I told you before, let them exist. We are that open. This is an open space. Don't be offended by someone who comes and puts their opinion on our space. He knew where he was coming. You think Atkunda didn't know where he was coming when he came on? He knows. But now if you want to be an NRM bot and come, thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for the view. Sit in this classroom with us. Tetulina buzibu banange mujje. Nze banange I want this platform to be for everyone. NRM, FDC, UPC, kachicha yenna banange mujje tutuule tuwaye. Tuwaye mukwano. Kitegeera. Tetukulinaako buzibu. You are entitled to your opinion. Very entitled. Halima baby. Chinyo change chabulu. How you doing? Hi, where? This life, no balance. Now, yeah, anyway, together, maso. So, another thing that tickled my fancy. Since we're talking about things, today's video, I think you've seen the title. I call the video The Wonders of Uganda because Uganda is crazy. It's an amazing place to be. It's on every level, by the way. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So we are just wonderful. We are a thing of awe. So, so I'm sitting there. I don't know if you remember. I think it was 2 weeks ago when I told you that Uganda had registered double-digit inflation. Double-digit inflation, right? And I said, y'all don't even pay attention to it. But the easiest ways for you to understand that we hit a double-digit inflation is how life is back home. Y'all were just complaining like, oh, munyo bagu sera kati. Oh, sabuni wa mutwalo. That Sagala, I don't want to go into the economics bit of it and then explain the most. You know my rule. If you don't understand something, use that your phone. Google. Google will be your friend. For anything you do not understand, if you don't know what inflation is, I'll be Google. Are we together? I always want you guys to Google. Like, take the time out. Data what abeeranga wakugenda ku TikTok or just kitegeera. No kujja wane wange. Nkwagala nyongoze wano naye njagala tuyige FMB. So Google. So anyway, we hit double-digit inflation. And of course, the elites and a couple of people were asking, and especially in Parliament, there were people trying to ask the government, like, to be honest with the masses and the population and tell us, like, where are we at, financially speaking, economically speaking as a country? Which tegera. And of course, no one is coming out with, you know, tewabera wabagamba the truth. They are always like, the economy is, or the economy is this, or we are here, or it is a global problem. I mean, inflation is global at this point, and we all expected it. But the levels at which it is in different countries tells a lot about the country. So I'm online and I see this letter. I think it was posted by Matthias Mpuga. And it's a signed letter and it's talking about pretty much the economic situation. I'm going to post it on my social media platform so that y'all can go through it. But from my reading, I'm not going to quote it verbatim, but from what I deduced reading it, I was like, damn, Uganda tuli mbizibu. Because as I was still going through that, I remembered that I think a week ago, I read a headline, and the headline said that the government was seeking 1.7 trillion from private lenders. I'm like, what does that mean? The economics is not economicing. Someone explained to me, because my math is not mathing, the economy is not economicing for me. They're like, the government is seeking to borrow, from private lenders, 1.7 trillion in order to finance a certain part of the budget. I'm like, what? Now don't forget that our public debt is at something trillion ne sentence erabide kuba buli bwenzogerako zinnumya omutwe gwezungulula bweguti. And then when we see this letter that is signed, seen and delivered by someone in government, I'm like, yay. But all Ugandans are talking about, oh munyo, sabuni, I'm like, one, G. So now, private lenders, I was like, that sounds good, that sounds good. It will help. It kind of will help if we're going to internally borrow. But then it also hit me again. It is like the government saying, we want to borrow from our celebs. Walk with me on this one. Government seeks to borrow 1.7 trillion, right, from private lenders. Equally translated to this, the government decided to borrow 1.7 trillion from itself, because for crying out loud, these private lenders are not anyone else but the people within the governors. Because in the simanyi bantu bawansi balina nyingi nnyo, there are a couple of them. There are, by the way, we have a couple of rich people that you people don't even know about. Hey, I was talking to a friend of mine recently. Nangamba onogayo mumanyi. There are some families that have money. There's a family that owns, they own a certain percentage of Crown Beverages. They're a common guy, but of course Nzei is also somewhere around there. So Nzei and his cronies, these guys have crazy money. Crazy money, but of course, so when the government says that it wants to borrow 1.7 trillion, I look back and I'm like, well, who are these private lenders? Let us look into them. And you will be shocked, lo and behold, it will be still one of them. So it is getting from them to give to them. It doesn't make sense to me. But I guess it should make sense. Kubanga. Like, back in the day, you would understand the economics of your country somehow, small. But the way it's happening now, it's like every section of our budget is pleading and it is bleeding. So the government wants to borrow money. The government is not coming out to tell the folks how bad it is or how bad the economy is, but the people are looking at it and they're like, something is off. As we, the people, something is off. But guy, people always ask me like, hey T, why is it every time you come on your lives, you're just criticizing the government? I'm like, but dear, ebirungi sina byogerako byeyogerako. But I will highlight the wrong because that is what they always try to cover up. So let us be together. We continue. Let us be together in this. So I'm sitting here and I'm confused. I'm like, because we don't even know what the lie is. We don't know what the lie is. 1 minute you're looking at this part and they're telling you things are bad. Double-digit inflation. We don't have enough money. We're trying to borrow from here, left, right, and center. We have crazy public debt. And then you see government entities still living on crazy-ass budgets. You're like, how can we afford this luxury? How? Now, I know that's petty. I know them having convoys and, having money at their disposal and all these tiny things is petty for us, especially when it comes to the economy or the entire country. But if you added those small monies, the monies that buy the fancy cars, the monies that finance weird stuff that is not even a necessity, it all shoots back to all the debt that we are incurring. Ochitegera. Now, of course, the people who are pro-government are going to be like, that has nothing to do with anything. Anita Among getting a car worth that money, or Tayebwa getting a car worth that money, or this money going to that situation has nothing to do with the economy. And then I'm like, but we do have a budget, right? We do. Okay. So if we do have a budget, it means there is money allocated towards all these things. Yeah. So how are you going to budget for something that you cannot afford? Because like, say you walk out of your house, right? And you sit down and you're like, well, I need salt, sugar, you write it down and you're like, yep, this is what I'm going to go and this is how much I can spend. Are you going to budget for what you don't have? I don't get it. We have budgets. They draw up a budget every financial year. And my thought is, By the time it is drawn up, they already know where all these monies are coming from. But somehow, always, in between the financial year, we are pulling for resources. I'm like, but the math is not mathing. It's not. I'm going to post that thing after we get off here. I'm going to post that letter that Matthias and Puga shared. I saw it on Twitter and I was shook. I was shook because wow, just wow. Meanwhile, we are seeing baby Pombe. We're saying baby Pombe running around, throwing parties, saying we are spending 3 billion on this. The government is spending 6 billion on this, on that, on. I'm like, if we consolidated all these women, because for crying out loud, we know baby Pombe doesn't have that money. If you say your father earns 1.3 but spends 5 million almost on a daily, I don't understand that mathematics. If you say as an army commander, this is the salary scale that you have as an army commander, and that is what you earn, and that is what you have been doing all this time. We understand you could have some side hustles, but I don't think they can afford you to throw parties. To throw parties for months on end. I could be wrong, man. I could be wrong, and I need to look into what side hustles those are. I need to. But god damn, for shame, Uganda. For shame. I keep sitting back here and I'm like, we are our own problem. Nze political economics za Uganda zansobera sibitegera. Banaye Julius mumuleke badia, mumuleke abajja kumulamwa, mumuleke. A distraction, mumuleke. I don't get it. Maybe you'll get it, but I don't. I'm trying. When you look at how much we are spending on the unnecessary versus how much we are spending on the necessary and where the funds are coming to spend on both those two entities, it just doesn't add up. I read something somewhere else where they were like, the assistant Bank of Uganda guy came out and said that for every taxation piece collected, amount of money collected from a Ugandan, right? 30% of whatever is collected from each individual, every Ugandan who pays taxes, 30% of that money goes to paying back our public debt. I'm like, okay. But then again, the same URA tells us that our tax base is so minimal, it's so small. That's when I'm like, okay. So the number of people paying taxes is low. Every person every person has to pay 30% of what they pay into their taxes. 30% is taken off to pay the public debt. So I sit back and I'm like, when are we going to finish paying back? Just think about it. URA says our tax base is very low. Tuli batono abasasula taxes batono nnyo. The Assistant Bank of Uganda governor comes out and tells us that for every individual who pays taxes, 30% is cut off to go to the public debt. So it makes you beg the question, when are we going to pay back all these monies? Meanwhile, as all of that is going on, we are still incurring debt. Now, don't get me wrong. Every country in the world has debt. Because I usually love to see NRM people come out and tell us, oh my goodness, every country has debt. I know that. Every country on the surface of this earth has a debt. But you see, the difference with every country is, how did they accumulate this debt? Why did they accumulate this debt? How do they intend to pay back this debt? And how are they spending the money got as that debt? Awo wali enjawulo awo. America jagenda yewole bwebe yagadde okwewola. tetubalinaako buzibu, right? Bajja kwewola naye bwe baneewola bajja mmanya tugenda zisasula bwe tuti, tugenda ziteeka mu kino ate zigenda tuddiza kino before they can even borrow it. For us in Uganda, it feels like it's a free-falling situation. Just keep getting money, just get it, get, like, we just keep accumulating debt and debt and debt. But when you sit down and honestly ask the powers that be, how are we going to pay this money back? Then tutandika aga naga, you see, you know, you hear, hey. It's a free fall. And I keep telling people Uganda doesn't have an economy. It is a marketplace. We don't have an economy. It's a marketplace. It's free fall. Because this debt has been coming through. Zibande zegatanga ko mpola mpola kati wano wetutuuse. Wano wetutuuse batia. Doesn't that bother you? I know most of you will sit back and you're like, nze bya economy tebinkwatako. Mfachi munjagala Museveni oyo tumukoye oba njagala ono yabaddako. Okay. Obaagala nayo kimanyi mbu anyone who comes into the situation still has to deal with the mess that has been made in your economy. Hey. And this is one thing. Ugandans, why you're still going to be under the rule of Museveni? Achatufuga nnyo sijja kwejjamu nange kwendi. Achatufuga nnyo. Achimanyi temwagala ku finding out, temukola research, temubyagala ebintu ebyo bibanyiiza nnyo. Bibanyiiza nnyo. Ask a Ugandan how we incur public debt. Ask a Ugandan what is their GDP. Ask a Ugandan just basic things that almost every citizen should know. Zero. Tubeeramu easy wazi pick and pull. Tubitegeera. Naye bwe bitukosanga tutandika bannange omunnyo baguseera. Bannange enseenene kati nze kyasinza okunnuma enseenene zannumye bantu mmwe. Buli omwaka nali ngulanga half a sack. I am an enseenene freak, I told you that. I used to buy half a sack at 70k. I even onanjulira. 70k is what I would use to get half a sack. Mukwano. Kuguno nakubyeyo akasimu nga njagala bampe half a sack. Omusajja yantunulidde without fear of favor n'agamba oyo bamugambe bw'aba talina 12 asinikire muli amannyo amuleke. Enseenene za buseere. Amanda ga buseere. Buli kimu kya buseere. Uganda recently was listed as the country with the highest data prices. I was like, wow. Because if you attack these communication companies, they are going to tell you it is not us, it is the government, the taxes and... So everything that you think should not be affecting you, indirectly is affecting you because of bad governance choices. Everything that is happening in the country or to you is because of your poor governance. And poor governance choices. If we do not stand up as a people and say enough is enough, tuchikoye, tukoye, tuchayimba, zino live nchakola nyingi, power to the people tuchamukola nnyo. Wano wetugenda okomanga, power to the people. Wetugenda okoma. Nze mbagambirawo my dear, nze mbagambirawo. Jabujja temugenda ku affording anything. Minimum wage yabalema n'oteekawo ye minimum wage badia mugiteeko nze sibanenya minimum wage bagiteekeko ku mirimo ki? Teri mirimo. No jobs. Kwegamba byonna bw'obitunuliramu everything is tied to one. And me, I'm not going to stop singing. Please use your phone, get it, understand what a federal system is. And then I want you to juxtapose countries that are using a unitary system of governance versus countries that are using a federal system of governance. And then tell me what Uganda needs. Just tell me. Federal is something that we all need. The countries that are progressing really fast. Look at Kenya. I will always use Kenya. Kuba tuli kumpi. Tuli kumpi tujiraba. Ebifaayo tubiraba. They have their flaws. They have their issues too. But because of how their system is put in place, little goes unnoticed, little goes unfixed. Uchitegeera. Our only option right now is to jump out of a unitary system, because whenever you have a unitary system, power is consolidated in one spot. And if that one spot that is consolidating this power is short of anything wise, or is just reckless with their governance, everything goes down the drain. But with a federal system though, ladies and gentlemen, whether that president is full of nonsense, because the system is designed to fix itself. The system is designed to work for the people. Most federal systems are designed. That's how it is designed as a unit. It's supposed to work for the people. That's how it is. But as long as you have power consolidated in one place, like us, and this is something that we are so used to that I think we are traumatized, like we're trauma bonded with it. In Uganda, it's okay for us to be watching TV, right? We can be watching TV and then you hear someone say like, yeah, we reached out to the president to let us know what we should be doing with that situation. You're like, okay. Then after a while, the president will be addressing the nation and is like, yeah, they came to me and I told them. Listen to this. This is where it starts to get creepy, when he's like, that's why we're talking about a unitary system. I decided. I said this. So if he has one bad judgment call, it all unravels. If your president just makes one bad judgment call, chonachiyika. I was so stunned. The wonders in Uganda are way too many. I was so stunned that the president had the sheer audacity, dare I say it, the sheer audacity to get up on a pulpit and say, I cannot believe Busoga is this poor. Driving through Busoga today was shocked. It is very poor. I'm like, who's going to tell him? Who is going to tell this man that when you came into power, Busoga was one of the most vibrant, financially stable places? But now you're waltzing through it and saying, oh my goodness, it's like a bougie, like when you get an uptown bougie girl and she's passing through a window and she's like, oh my God, how do people live like this? That is what our president looked like. I was watching that, I'm like, no, you're chikubolu ye. He was like, I can't believe it. Ninja, you have been the president for 40-something years, and now, today, of all days, lo and behold, is when you notice Busoga is struggling? How? Busoga had the Speaker of Parliament for how many years? 30? You and her were bosom buddies. She stood up and told us how she kept you in power, and for some reason, you would not, for a minute, think of them and go like, Nae Jehova balibatia. Now is when it hits you. This is the same president. You remember when we had an outbreak of jiggers, ladies, jiggers in the 21st century? Uganda dealt with a jiggers situation in Busoga. It was reported on CNN, Al Jazeera, every news outlet that the people of Busoga were suffering from one thing, not poverty. Okay, it was poverty, pretty much it. They were suffering from jiggers. Jiggers, badia, jiggers. This same president sent Bikwanz. Muherabira new. This same president who is saying, I cannot believe. It's the audacity for me. It's the audacity for me. And that's why I keep telling you, educate yourself on federalism. Federalism is going to work for you in ways you are not going to even fathom. You're going to sit there and you're like, how? You will go to your local home, your village. Say you come from, like me, I come from Hoima. We have, that is where oil is. Tebalina masomero, tebalina malwaliro, bali eyo kwevuluga bwevuluzi byakweyiya naye nga abadrilinga oil we bali wali bazimba kasite kabwe. But the outskirts and the people there, where nothing is happening. Nothing. But dear, if you say you come from, like, say, Hoima, like me, the region that you're in under federal, all the taxes collected in that region will go directly to building your roads, your hospitals, your schools, without you needing to send a letter of inquiry to the topmost guy and saying, tubadde tusaba batuzimbire ku makubo, tubadde tusaba batuzimbire ku masomero. Right now, that is why we coined the term, tusaba government yetuyambe. Government teina bayamba. The systems put in place are supposed to be working. Naye twakimanyira sawa bina tubeeraawo government yetuyambe. Government yetuyambe. Twasiriwaliraawo. Mu government yetuyambe. Nze mbyogeranga bwe mbiraba. I know at times I sound crass. But it's the truth. And you know it. Muchimanyi. Bamubeera mu federal. Your MCA, who is as good as your LC chairman, has more power than your member of parliament. Did you know that? Which means there is someone you can hold directly accountable. As in, you're not going to sit here and say, kati oba tukubire RDC, oba cow, oba tukubire member of parliament. Muberao kati muzunga temumanyigwe muino holding accountable. But in a federal system, it is layered out so easily for you that the very first direct person of contact is your MCA. Your MCA jumps from there. You send him your problems, he gets those problems and sends them to whoever is next to him. Whoever is next to him sends them to, until you get to the governor, who is the highest, the tipping point. And your governor can take it to the Senate. Then the Senate can take it and discuss it. Which together. We need to take a minute. We need to take a minute and understand what federalism is. Each one, teach one. Especially if abaina access to the internet. If you have internet access, teach someone. You don't have to force them to understand the idea. And one thing I love about this, us being a people, is that we are allowed to let everyone have their opinion, but give them options. It is not right for us to sit here and not give ourselves options as a country, because the government decided tebagenda bawa options. Abana Uganda tebamanyi that there is any other way to rule a country. They only know waberawo president. Chasalawo chetugenda nacho. They do not actually understand that even a constitution can be overturned. They do not understand that we can move from one system of governance into another. They do not understand that, because nobody is going to do that, because we have a bunch of greedy, foul liars who only came to steal and take. And you guys are the loot. Your children are the ones suffering. Your children's children are going to suffer harder. Your fathers and mothers are struggling. But you're all here, Museveni, oh yeah, we are endorsing him. What's that ninja going to do that he hasn't done in 40 years? Someone explain that bish. I don't even want to curse. They deliberately made the system make you dumb. Mwasiruwalirane system. Chovolaba, when Bobby Wine's wife came in, we all got too excited. We got reactionary again. But these are the same things that Kizza Besigye has been talking about for years on end. Now, of course, na yetu tena nyogambo yo yalia. Every country has a Kizza Besigye. Every country has a Raila Odinga. You get my flow? You get it. You have so much power as a people. I keep reminding you this. They cannot be a government if there is no one to govern. So the government is necessary in order to govern. Which means, direct translation, you need people to govern. Ensi si yabwe, ensi yammwe. Seriously speaking, you tell me you're endorsing a president who has been in power for 40 years. 40 years, you're still struggling with the same problems you were struggling with 20-something years ago, 30-something years ago. So you ask yourself, what is he coming to do in this next term that he failed to do? Atkunda, stop being an idiot. I've tried to abuse you now. I've tried to ignore you, but you're being an idiot. People like you are the reason why I keep telling Ugandans, Muliba Siru, don't come on these platforms and show how stupid you are. Get a book, use it. That thing between your ears, try to use it. Get yourself a book and read about governance. Akasente bakusasudde kanja akakutaipingisa gasi ya bulolo. And usually I want these guys, you see, you hide behind AVIs. I dare you to get out of the comment section and open up your YouTube account and tell us, muje mulabe kyenjogera ku NRM. Tumbav, gasia bulolo. Amma tubadde tuliwa. Once in a while my petty come through. Because I don't want to see someone coming here. If you have come here, you know why you're here. Sit back, drink your tea, listen to what I got to say, and if you don't like it, do not give your opinion. Scooch right out of the comment section and off this live and go. You going does not make us lose sleep. You are not invited. I did not call for you. I did not send for you. When you come to my platforms, but dear, understand one thing. Understand one thing. I do not care about your feelings. I don't. I care about the masses that I feel deserve to know the truth. How they take this truth, that's on them. That's on them. Okay? So yes, you want to come on these platforms and you are, you're pro anything you are, but you know the platform you're on. You know the damn platform you're on. So act like you know. Sit back, watch. If you don't like what you're hearing, get the F off. Baako. Pweyongere mu maaso. N'abaagala okuwuliriza ontegeera onfuna. Kavyuko nkaagala ate wakampadde dda. Kakasente kagenze mu nsawo. Sikulinaako buzibu. Naye ate okujja n'okola kalebule. You know? Basikutegeera. But anyway, haters make us famous. Keep doing your damn thing, boo. Do your damn thing. Sikulinaako buzibu. You're sending traffic my way, and that's one thing people don't understand. When you come on these platforms and you're like, where? Whoever follows you, whoever knows you is going to want to watch me. So it is me gaining, really. Because they'll be like, oh, why is so and so bad? Did they watch? And say, viunga njifuna ngoyo na ye tumuyigirize chokola, tuchusa bwongo. We are not here to show you nudes and the normal petty things you people are used to. Nedda. It's an open platform. Very open. But your opinion is not really warranted. You can keep it to yourself. The only person giving opinions right now is me. If you feel you want to give an opinion, go to your platform. I'm selfish like that. So anyway, like I was saying, the system has designed a way where Ugandans just deliberately don't know. Because whenever we have these conversations, usually in the comment section, chentero wuliramu people are like, kati tina tukole tutya. What can we do? How are we going to change this? Banange. Number one, mukwate amasimu ago agabali mu ngalo mukole ku research. Kitegeera? Mukole ku research. Research kenjogerako kano. Learn small, simple things that make you understand. Learn what GDP is. Learn about the different forms of governance and systems. Learn about what your member of parliament is supposed to do. Read your constitution. Understand what laws you have to abide with. It's simple things. Arm yourself as a citizen. Once a citizen is well armed and knows their rights, and knows what they are entitled to, and knows what power they have, oh, you cannot control them. You cannot. Mulaba America. Did y'all ever really believe me when the first time when Donald Trump said he was running for office? I was like, he lied. He's a clown. He cannot. He cannot do this. He ran and he was elected by a group of people in major numbers. He became the president of the free world. Donald J. Trump. Mama, do you know what that translated to me? That is a citizenship of people that knows they have enough power to change whatever they want. They know their rights, they know their legislation, they know their arms of governance. Arms of governance mwazi koma mu kirasi ki. Which class do we study the arms of government? Was it P4? P4? P6. The arms of government. That is where they stopped the arms of government. Because it's their what and what? This them for me. Legislature. And when they know, P6. Only sure P6 nedda. P6. I remember studying the arms of government when I was much younger. P4, P5 awo. Twali tuziyimbanga. Can someone list them for me to tandikira out? Because if you know the arms of governance, right? Now, for your research purposes, get one arm of government and delve into it. Ochitegera. P5. Muli sure P5 wadia. Executive, legislature, judiciary, and what? Well, were they 5? How many were they? P4, But anyway, get those arms of government and then break them down. You get Kawan, you're like, okay, legislature. What is the role of the legislature in my country? Then break it down. Mpola. Na heche nkwega irira. Nawe bwoyiga. Somesa ako omulala. Atendala eno Christmas mugenda mu byalo. Mulekera ogenda mu byalo just to go like, oh, banange. Sit your grandparents, because those are the people who go out and vote in numbers. In numbers. Fabali musitete tuchikuba nnyo. Abantu abali mu kyalo abo abasajja abakadde n'abakazi abakadde. They take their elections very serious. Mutuule nabo mubagambe bye balina okukola. Kuba be babonaabona. Naffe tubonaabona naye ate mbonaabona y'abakadde Uganda. Enuma. In Uganda, once you get, I mean, it's like in the whole world, but in Uganda, you're left for the dogs. For the dogs. Our old people die very sad, miserable ways. They don't have access to hospitals. They don't have access to good health care. They don't have access to anything. They're just tubalekeyo mu byalo ebyo. Ebyalo ebino okubakatinga mu guno omwaka of 40 years of one president in a country that only has 45 million people, honestly speaking. We are not that many. There are countries with bigger populations and they can handle. Binji byetwetaaga referendum tujeetaaga naye you remember the last time we had a referendum? Do you remember how the last referendum went? Should we go into that? But dear. Abali mu byalo. Abagenda mu byalo. Muyigirize ku bajjajja mmwe. muyigirize ku abo bakazini bamwe ba anko bamwe be malekayo mu kyalo. You go to that village and find a 22-year-old man looking like he is 80. You're like, what is going on? Abana mchalo, in this 21st century, Uganda CNN nnyo badia, CNN nnyo. Naye mulimu ebifo mu Uganda abantu tebamanyi na mmotoka bwefaanana. Tebalabanga ku masannyalaze. Abaana baabwe tebasoma. Tebamanyi na kuwandiika. Naye ffe ba actually, tuli mu town, we are all here like, oh my God. Oh my God. When it is time for us to vote, do we show up? No. We try. The few. Abalala, it is just a public holiday. Tewali agenda banunula. Nze kino nsiba nkibagamba. Nsiba muwogana mbu awadi ya Bobi Wine agenda banunula. Tasobola kununula abantu bataagala kwenunula. Oba nfuna? Munfuna? Bobi ne bwanajja n'abagamba bannaye ngenda banunula nga mwenga abantu. Temuli ready ku kwenunula. Chapa. Abakola kyabwerere. Abakola kyabwerere. It starts with y'all. It starts with each one of us. And how do we start it? By understanding what we are up against. How do we understand what we are up against? I don't mean go and take to the streets of Kampala, no. Let's start with simple basics. Understand your arms of governance. What are they supposed to do? What is your MP entitled to do? What is your minister entitled to do? What is this arm of government and this branch of government supposed to do, and have they done it? If so, have they done it the right way? The finances of your country, understand how they work, understand how your taxation system works, understand where your taxes go, understand when we get money in certain ways, or how we lend money or borrow money. We never lend money anymore. How we borrow money, how is that going to trickle down to the human being? As of 3 years ago, every Ugandan had a debt. Every Ugandan had a debt of about, was it 1.2? Was it 1.2? Mukwano kati bwetuwogerera Bruce vakubala every yange. Mukwano wano wetuwogerera. I think every Ugandan yatuuse ku 1.8. Ze bakubanja gwe yes you muna Uganda ndaba kati oyinza okubanga tozimanyi naye nga tukubanja. 1.8, and it's going to keep going up. So these are things that you need to educate yourselves. Before you even go out to educate somebody else, you have to educate yourself to understand how do the different things in your country work. Don't just see everything for face value. I know at times when we go on these social media platforms and we hear the Semuju Ugandans say something, or you watch a parliamentary session and you hear them say some stuff and you're like, and then Andrew Mwenda comes and throws in comments, goes with statistics and all of that. We're like, Zenfachimu. Museveni agenda chirina cheturugasa. Museveni bw'anaavaako nga tetumanyi kyakkola. Tujja kubanga twesuula na mbizi bubirala. Kitegeera? So we need to understand these things. We need to understand all of these things, because once you have an educated citizenship, and when I say educated, I don't mean wasoma. No, when you have an educated citizenship in the sense of they know their rights, they know who is supposed to do what, how it's done, why it's done, and how it's paid back, money is gotten, economy ekoloetya, etambuletya, ani ayina okunzimbira ekkubo, ani ayina okunzimbira eddwaliro, who do we hold accountable? Are they held accountable? If we learn that, we're unstoppable. Even the next person who will come in power will know that the citizenship of people, the citizenship he has, if that is even a word, is a woke one. And he can't just do manyanga. Museveni did a lot of manyanga and still does a lot of manyanga. Right now it's becoming hard for him. That's why we have this push and pull between the government now and the youth, because we are a generation that knows a little bit of what we want. But before, the generation of our fathers and our fathers before that, for the past 40 years when he came into power, they were a generation that didn't need much. They just wanted to know, I can go to work, feed my kids, and take them to school, and that is it. The rest of what happened in the country wasn't their issue. They voted, they told them we are bringing you peace. They had seen a lot of bloodshed. They're like, oh no, bw'abatagenda kuleeta ntalo, tumuwe. And then again, like I say, we are suffering the consequences of the actions of our fathers before us. And our kids are going to suffer the consequences of our actions after us. Whatever we let slide now, our kids have to deal with. Just like whatever we let our parents let slide, we dealt with. Kitegeera? That's what I'm trying to say. So that's why I come to you and I call out to you and I'm like, let's learn. Let's learn. Let's understand how these systems work. Let us understand the politics of the country. And the politics is not all about who is the president. No, it's way, way bigger than who is the president of a country. The politics of your country is a huge thing. You know, like the way I always constantly tell you people like, hey, please, have you read through your constitution? The politics of your nation is bigger than who is president. It gives you all these tiny tidbits of why we are where we are. But of course, these are not conversations anyone wants to have. I don't see anyone sharing. I don't see anyone liking. Oba muli ku kirero simanyi. Naye singa ebadde video nga bayimbi beevuma. Oba nga Rema atulaze omwana we gwe wandirabye wano zirayiki. Wandirabye wano zisita. Hey! Singa ebadde TikTok video nga waliwo simanyi ayayonoonye oba nga waliyo ka sex tape zishare zirayiki ebyo bye twagala. Museveni akyatufuga. Akyatufuga nnyo kuba amanyi ebibasanyula. Sports and entertainment. Sports and entertainment. Bye mwagala. Bye mwagala. Bibasanyula nnyo. I told you, me, I take time out and I go on these different social platforms and I be seeing like the content that has us, you know, confused and upbeat and in uproar. I'm like, hey, so this content got 200k views in 1 hour versus this content that got 1k. I'm like, what is in this content? Then I watch it, I'm like, bagayi batudde ku live ya gundi mbu yabadde avuma abantu. Kwatuddeko abantu 200k. I'm like, wow. Naye nodda ku ndala nga wali wayogera ku ky'obufuzi nga bwe kiri obbabonyaabonya nga alina kawanu keeke nga kamutuddemu. It says a lot about us. It does. It says a lot about us as a people. My youth. This life, no balance. I keep saying these things, no balance. But a lot happened though. A lot happened this week. A friend of mine went to Mulago Hospital the other week, and this is how shocked I was. Kambabuli Dembo. Governance will affect everything. So she goes to hospital. Her sister was scheduled for surgery, right? So she gets there, they tell her what's going to be done, and then the doctor comes out and writes for her a cheat sheet. When I say a cheat sheet, I don't mean like on on paper, just kwata akapapula user ako namugamba kati ogenda gende ebweru ku pharmacy eri wali ogule. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what he wanted her to buy: gauze and cannulas. Cannula gye bakuteeka mu ngalo, gloves, gauze ne masking tape oyo gwe basiba ku cannula. I was like, wait, what? She's like, mwana wa mama ndikwetoloola kati kubanga baŋŋambye nyanguwe, or else the blood that we have got from the blood bank, which was also not easy, will go bad. I was so shocked, but not so shocked. I was like, ooh. Then I was like, okay. Bamugamba afulume eddwaliro Mulago and told her to go and buy cannulas, tape, gauze. So I asked myself, a government entity cannot afford cannulas, gauze. I was like, naye mmwe ekyabadaaga tukyaddayo kuba tukyadaaga we mama. Ay. And you people say the politics of your country does not affect you. Osaga. That is the biggest referral hospital we have in the country. To a point that it is so unstable that none of your dignitaries can fall sick in it. Toli wulirayo mbu bamututte mulago nedda mulago tutwalayo maiti zaabwe gye bakolera zi postmortem za maiti ez'aba abanene naye okubajjanjaba Nairobi, America, London, India. Now, these are the same legislatures that they sit in meetings and decide the fate of Ugandans. Nze neeraliikirira sitati yaffe naye ngenda ngimanyiira baddiya tukyadaaga gakyali mabaga twasindika munywa mu ssubi tukyadaaga. If we do not wake up as a people and try to educate ourselves on what we need, how we can get it, by understanding how it works, hey, tuchadaga. I saw Samu Uganda on the floor of Parliament. He was trying to bring up a conversation about the M23 and the tweeting Pombe General. And the Speaker of Parliament, Zex Biranjiranji, Nanyini Kweyerusa, Agabazi Range Rover for birthdays, second wife, hashtag side dish. Yes, Anita Among. She's like, we agreed that it is not in our nature to talk about someone who is not here, so they cut him off. In my head, I was like, oh, well, explain this to me. If you agreed that you do not discuss people who are not in Parliament, right? How come you sit there and discuss Ugandans on a daily? Huh? That was confusing for me. You do not discuss people who cannot come and explain themselves. But you be discussing Ugandans daily. You be discussing how we should not be drinking after 4. I saw that bullshit. Someone needs to get that member of Parliament laid. I feel like that opendy chick just needs to get laid. Someone get her someone. They need to lay her. It is just sexual frustration at this point. At this point. I just needed to put that out there. I just needed to. Kubanga. And she was there, we do not discuss anyone, he's not here. Carolite ali kuoli. Oyeche akatakozesa na Carolite. Pokole yandoza bwakuyitako bwoti oyeruka. It is in the air. Wala ennaku zino ntandise okulaba kali akafaanana ng'ensejjere bakayitaani. Akatera okwasama. What's her name? The skinny one. What's her name? You know her. They are best buddies. The one who says she was the gatekeeper to Koboko, something like that. Because she is spending a lot of time with this woman, atandise okweruka. Anita Amongo omuyitako bwoti n'oyeruka. Oli akozesa pokuleya walayi chem. Nebyo. Mulina okuyiga. Mulina okuyiga baddiya, mulina okuyiga. Me, I keep looking at what happens in Parliament and I'm like, we are a bunch of jokers. And we have aided and abetted murderers. Why do I call them murderers? If you're going to sit down and pass laws that are going to let my grandmother in the village die easily, you have murdered. If you're going to sit down and debate about who gets what, how they get it and they don't get it, hey, you're a liar, murderer, philanderer, you name it, every bad book. We are aiding and abetting them, and you know where they are? In Parliament. Your biggest crooks are in Parliament. These other ones are just, it's a domino effect, you know, there's like an illusion. bano abalala abaswindolinga mu saidi ne waggulu kasita tunyweza paalamenti eyo ne tugikwata ne tunywe ate olowooza waliwo ekirala ekitambula tewabeera kirala kitambula because the parliament is yerina okutereeza buli kimu naye mutunuulire emboga ze mulina mu parliament ziri mboga zennyini doodo actually doodo wa bbeeyi doodo wa redi gwe omumanyi kyakola mu musaayi mboga zitudde muli saawa bina zijja hiya olunaku ne luggwa ne bazisasula neekya ne zijja hiya nga tukuba mu ngalo tulina emboga zitudde mu paalamenti nazo zigendeka ne zigamba abaana baazo today I went and represented a Ugandan who you did not represent me. You did not. Kasita tunyweza paalamenti katutandikiraawo tunyweze paalamenti tuba ojja kulaba gwe ojja kulaba kuba be balina obuyinza okukyusa buli kye twagala nga twasabye kati we decided to ask for a new constitution tulina kuyita mu bbo referendum gye twagala tulina kuyita mu bbo kino kye tutayagala tulina kuyita mu bbo because they are our representation. And that's why I was telling you I hate a unitary system of governance because they are also consolidating all the power with them. Mu Federalism emboga tuba tetuzeetaaga. Ezo emboga tuba tetuzeetaaga mu Federo. Kuba kiba kitandikira wali ku muntu wa wansi bwe tusobola okunyoola ne tunyiga essaawa yonna bwe tuba tetulina makubo ng'ogenda wa LC anti alina okubeeraawo wennyini. Mu Federo babeeramu eyo state tebagenda walala. Abalina okugenda mu Senate bagenda but the ones who are directly involved with you stay on the ground. Kati gwe jangu ngambe mbuliri ekkubo lye twasasulira terinaba kuzimbibwa owedde. Naye with unitary consolidation of power, right? It's consolidated in one place so they feel high and mighty. And most of the times, you, the people, and what's happening to you is a conversation lost in translation. It is. Mwagala omanya wa mwino sookola okunyiga. Museveni temujja mujjako. Kyokibagamba. Kuba tutya okufa. Temulina mmundu. Battayo basatu ffenna ne tukkalira. Naye bwe musobola okukyusa paalamenti yammwe. Paalamenti yammwe eyo, paalamenti yammwe. Gye mulina osooka ottereeza mu layini. Kuba whenever you take for us cabbages, we deal with cabbage laws. And those same cabbages will enact laws and bills and all this nonsense. Mubalaba. Oli bimwakkiro yagenda kuleeta kiro ekitategeerekeka. Mwebale kulonda. Mwe musaaga. Musaaga abaddiya naye nga kye tuliko kitokota si kisabike. Almost people will come here and they're like, oh my goodness, Tina, why do you always just talk like that? What do you want me to talk about? I'm not going to talk about the satellite because to be honest, bwengo muna Uganda satellite gye bawanise egenda kuyamba eti entebereza y'obudde kale tetugaanye oyagala ogimanyi bw'ona amanya entebereza y'obudde then what? So you know the weather forecast. We spent a truckload. Meanwhile, no one has come out to tell us how much we spent on that satellite situation, which is okay. I mean, it costs an arm and a leg. I get it. So you know entebereza y'obudde nga gwe omuna Uganda ekuyambye etya mukwano. Kuba bw'ona agamba oli mulimi si mwenna mbu muli balimi temulina ttaka temulina capital. Do we need to get into this conversation? Do we? Oh, they were like, you see, Ugandans are not patriotic. One is a satellite and all you people. And I'm like, okay, I mean, yay. Ooh, we're happy. Thank you for putting up the satellite. Then what? Then what? You put up the satellite, it is going to tell us for the weather and all of that. Then what? I live in the tropics. We only have two different things. We either have rains or sunshine. What? We're going to have hurricanes, tornadoes, sandstorms. I live in the tropics. Famine, drought, rain. Three things that I know. So kati twafunye satellite etugasa eki. Nabe egenda okugasa of course etugasa. Naye nganza omuntu wa wansi. Honestly, I cannot sit here and begin celebrating it. It's just a waste of celebration. There are some things I will celebrate with time. When they do something right, I will go like, yeah, they did that. They did that. They did that. Tena chengasa. But the Ugandans are not patriotic. How come when the government does something nice? Nice for who? So I know Entebbe Zayobude, and then what? It's going to rain tomorrow. Carry an umbrella. It's going to be hot tomorrow. What? Wear sunscreen? Don't plant? Don't eat? What? You'll be killing me. You'll be killing me. I'm not just that I'm negative. It's not that I'm negative, but to be honest, I give credit where it is truly actually due, and it has not been in a while. Uchitagera. I just... Naye tuve mu politics wa Uganda ndowooza mukitegedde kye mbagambye. Mukitegeera kye mbagamba. Atafunye budde kugitandika live, I upload it on my YouTube, so if you would be such a dear, regardless of if you watched it on Facebook or TikTok, take the time out and go to my YouTube and, like, subscribe. Let's keep this message going, and on all your different platforms, if you feel this is a message worth sharing with your fellow youth, share and share. I make sure that my videos, I never restrict them from being downloaded, even on YouTube. Share as much as you can. Each one teach one. That's the motto of how randomly we think. Tugabane. That's the truth. Share and share and share. When you go to the villages, teach these people who are in the villages that their vote is worth a lot. And even you as a person, you need to understand that you as a person have so much power. Government is toina jitya. Government ekutia. Tebabagambanga, by the way. Nzenja chibagambanga. The government is afraid of you. It's not the other way around. They are afraid of you. They are terrified of you. That is why whenever you do one small thing, they get so confused. They go up in a frenzy. They start abducting people and showing we still have power. We shall beat you up. We shall torture you. They do it intentionally because they want to scare you. They know how much power you have. If they have never told you this, kankubulire gwe ngomna Uganda who feels helpless. Basuza bakukunadde. Basula bewunzise mulinga ab'ebbango. They say webbango bw'otamwemukira osola teweebise mubasuza kubi. You got all the power. All of it. The sooner you understand that, then we can start putting these wheels in motion. I'll keep coming here. And I'll keep randomly sharing my thoughts with you, because these are thoughts that I sit back with me. I'm not going to say I'm a political analyst. I ain't. I'm just a girl with a brain, and I sit there and I'm like, this don't make sense. But I wish I could talk to someone about it, and I come here and I talk to you guys about it. I am not the smartest out there. There are way smarter people than me. I am not the best orator there is. Of course, I am not. I am not the best looking to come here and show this my face all the time, but hey, I'll be damned if I say I don't look good. But here we are. Muntegera. Everybody needs to do something about it, and you can start with yourself. Learn what your government is supposed to do for you. I have sung the Constitution, but I have told you people to download the Constitution on your phones. I have sung that song. I am still going to sing it. Please download your Constitution and go through it. Read it. Then after you're done with your Constitution, understand the arms of government. Break them down. Understand them. Chitegera. A lot is going on. And they're betting on that. Because you're a culture of people, you're people who are used, we don't have the reading culture in my country. We don't have the dire urge to want to have knowledge. And I think it was deliberately instilled in us. Yeah. I think they deliberately made it in a way that Ugandans should not want for much. As long as they can eat, sleep, and their kids can go to overpriced schools with an education that ain't going to do shit for them, turn out after an education without a job because the government won't put one in place for you, life will keep moving. Just say. Baby, is there anything else you want me to talk about? Because I feel like I have out-talked myself. About the breast scan situation, first of all, dear social media user, kids are off limit. Kids are off limit. There is not a parent on the surface of this earth who would be happy to have their kid slandered by anybody. Or they will raise up and they will come to that child's aid and they will lay your shit bare for just saying anything about their child. Even you, even every sinner, murderers, rapists, their parents love them. Omfuna. Bambi Media, I am sorry, I am not looking for asylum. I am married here. This is my second home. Chikulume. Chikulume. I have been here for almost a year. I like when people are bothered by me being here. Chibalumanyo, they all think I came through the same way. Oh, ndikwa asylum. Oh, Chibaluma. No. I'm happily married. Ooh, Nadi. Ah, how sweet. Tuveyeyo. But then chabagamba. Breast scan, bambi mwamu vumira omwana. I don't think it's right for anybody to say anything about a child. A minor is a minor. I mean, I know we like to wild out, but when it comes to kids, they are off limits in any situation. Even when it comes to gang-related violence, the wives and the kids are off limits. Always. That was so wrong of what your people did, right? It was so wrong. But then also her response, I was like, B, you could have done better. I know you were hurt that they said what they said about your child, but you called for it. You see, the internet is not a real place. It is a virtual space. And people will wild out. People will wild out on this virtual space because it is not a real place. They will say whatever they want to say. But when I tell you these things, you don't want to believe them. Kati mwagenda muvumira omwana naye n'akomawo n'abavuma. Naye kati kyembuuza bwe yabavuma yafuna muki. Wabwata omwana wo n'omuteeka ku social media. You should have expected that not everyone was going to be like, oh my God, he's so pretty. No, people are twisted. People are sick. People have weird, different senses of humor, you know? You should have seen that. You should have seen that coming, Grescan. You came on, you're holding your baby in your hand and you're like, F you, my motherfucker. But now I'm kasi yasulo wogu gambo. Agagamba, I'm like, hey! Wow. Sisi yampitam. Ngambere wabagamba baby tabitegera na ye. Damn, the internet does not forget. One day that baby will be perusing on the streets of this virtual world and bump into that video. It's like, Mama, you said that while I was on your lap? No! No! That was so wrong. And I think that's the same time that Rema finally showed us her baby's photo. I was like, yeah. Rema has mastered the art of getting your sympathy votes. Whenever she feels forgotten because the music is not musicking, she decided to milk her marriage. The music refused to music at all. I know her fans are going to come here and say, neo, but truth be told, the Rema we had way back then versus this, no, the music has refused to lulu. So she decided to sell her family. Because she knows you have nothing better than to look at her family. Because for her it was a scandal that worked. So she will always send you photos of her perfect family. And you all run around. You're like, oh my goodness, see that baby, see that man. Hamza Nageze. I had to throw that in. Because if people keep making fun of how much weight I have gained, but now Hamza Nageze. One worker Saturday, I am, but when they were in that photo where he was wearing the blue and the babies were wearing black. Oh, the babies looked adorable. Oof, God. They all looked good. They did. But I was looking at Hamza's outfit. I'm like, didn't the designer understand you needed a size slightly bigger? You all look at that photo. Now look around the area of the belt buckle. Those pants, if he had just said, they would burst open. But it was a beautiful thing. We love to see them. We do. As much as the music is not musicking, hey, she's our socialite now. She's not a musician, she's a socialite. Together now. Babies look good, she looks happy still. I mean, we all expected it not to go on longer than this, but ha. It's going on. Yay. We are happy. Truly happy for them. What else happened that I wanted to just pass through? Magogo's Range Rover. To be honest, not that a man depreciates or anybody depreciates, but Magogo has dipped his dipstick in way too many oil pots for us to be acting brand new to this situation. But I guess Madame Zex Biranji, this is a first for her. Chitegera, this is a first for her. Muleke mwana yeyagale. Range Rover yakaguze. Magogoza yabba mu sports section ndoza tezimala. Bamugulire bambi. This is the first time for her. I think the last man she had, she was still in her original color. This is the first time someone has told her, you're still beautiful. Yes! Range Rover. He's putting in a lot of work to earn all of these gifts. Haj. Together. It's almost that time. I gotta say bye-bye. Yo, there's a story that cracked me up. A story that cracked me up in some place in Kenya called it's called Kitengela. So apparently there's a bunch of thieves in Kitengela, robbers. They come to your house, rob you, and after robbing you, they tell you to make for them ugali, chicken stew with pepe, and they eat it. Then after they leave with your loot. I was like, what am I being at? Imagine omuntu najja kubba ka TV kona akawanulayo sente nakugalamiza nakuba mu kiboko. Bwamala nagamba genda mufumbiro gwe. Fumbe enkoko nakawunga. Otekemu pepper. They even have specifics on spices. I was like, dang. Mundeke badia. this life is a whole bunch of crazy. Like at times I sit back and I'm like, when we were young, back in like 1994, we had these grand illusions of what it would be like to live in the year 2022. It seemed so far off. But now that I am in 2022, I am always caught in between this motion. Like times I see some stuff on the internet and I want to pick up my phone and I'm like, hello, Jesus. Yeah, put your sandals on and calm down. They're acting up again. Yeah, we need you. Yambala usapatubo. Oje, because what the hell? The world is a crazy place, fam. I've been looking at things in this world and I'm like, did I hear that right? Oh, am I? But anyway, it is a story to tell, right? It is a story to tell. But dear, has been my time. It has been my time. In case you want to reach out to me, you know what to do. You know what to do. All my DMs are open. Yes, on Facebook, that's at Tina Fierce 1. You can always hit me up in my comment section, or you can go to my messages. Same thing goes for TikTok, which is randomthoughts.fierce1, and on, excuse me, on YouTube, which is at Tina Fierce 1. I love the fact that YouTube simplified it, that I don't have to tell you, go look for Random Thoughts, Tina Fierce 1. I like the fact that they gave us handles. So my handle for YouTube is at Tina Fierce 1 too. So that means all my social media platforms use the same thing, at Tina Fierce 1, in case you're looking out for me. None of my pages is verified, and I think I am going to leave it like that until they are authentically verified. I'm not going, someone was asking me why I have not yet gotten the Twitter blue tick. Nah. Now more than ever, for the sake of exclusivity, I do not want it. Oh, Twitter has been a crazy space. Big shout out to the richest billionaire who bought something at 44 billion and now it is estimated to cost no more than 8 million. I'm like, wow. 8 billion? You bought it for 44 and now it costs how much? Elon Musk is definitely a business genius. Never mind the hate speech going on Twitter. He don't care about that. How did you people expect a guy who is as white as snow to give a damn about many things? Oh, come on. Come on. I see very many celebrities exiting that app and I'm like, are you crazy? This is the best time to be on Twitter. Hashtag freedom of speech is on Twitter. I love to see people act dumb. Because now cancel culture can't work. Do you know that? There is no more cancel culture on Twitter because it is all termed under freedom of speech. Aha. I guess you all didn't see that coming, did you? Now you can run any hashtag and you will be, well, included in almost everything. It's just nice. It's nice to see it fall apart. Is it falling apart or is it coming together? Who knows? Another billionaire showed us that not every billionaire is smart and they make mistakes, dumb moves with their money. It's a lesson learned. Clap for yourselves. I feel like I did learn that. Anywho, it's been my time. In case you want to reach out to me on anything, like I've said, you can hit me up on Facebook, you can hit me up on Twitter, you can hit me up on Instagram, you can hit me up on TikTok, or in the comment section on my YouTube. I go through all your messages, I go through all your texts, and I go through all your comment sections. Yeah, I do. I try to keep up. I do try to keep up. So if you don't mind me, I'm about to go and take off this monstrosity of a wig. Let me save this my look. For now, you'll just keep telling me I look pretty, but what is under here? The devil is a liar. But like I say, it has been good. I had fun with you. I hope we keep this up and be kind to yourself. Be understanding with yourself. Give yourself time to grow, because at the end of the day, you cannot give what you do not have. You cannot love if you do not know how to love yourself. That is it. You cannot give what you do not have. So be kind to yourself. Be empathetic to yourself. Be understanding with yourself. Be patient with yourself. And all of these things will happen in the rest of the world because you know how to assume and take them in, you know? So you'll be able to give them. Are we together? It's been good. I'll catch you again next Saturday. I'm out for now. Don't forget, like and hit the subscribe button on my YouTube. If you're on any of the other platforms and you just feel like you want to support a sister, same thing, go to my YouTube at TinaFierce1, like, hit the subscribe button, and let's, you know, keep us in the algorithm. Small. If you're on Facebook, you can always send stars. If you are on TikTok, there's that gift thingy you'll do. I'll be more than happy. But for now, though, I will catch you on the flip side. I am out. See ya. I start with YouTube